What's up, YouTube? This is Gilbert LaLaLakers back with Dizzy Gaming and here to bring you another video. So on this one, I wanted to talk about a little bit about the current situation with elements over in the European LCS. So recently there was a report coming out from, I have the article right here, from Esports Heaven, pretty much stating that Elements was very close, if not done, with a deal for to add support player Krepo. As you may know, widely known throughout the entire League of Legends community, even, I would say in an international stage as well. Formerly of Evil Geniuses in North America and in Europe as well. So there's with the struggles of Elements, they're off to a 4-6 record, which is obviously not acceptable for an organization that was probably predicted as the early season favorites. Well, the preseason favorites coming into the European LCS, season 5. It's been pretty weird to see what's been going on with Elements. Like, this is definitely a team that has a lot of talent. I don't think there's any denying that. But for whatever reason, Reckless, one of the biggest additions of the offseason for any organization, hasn't molded very well. They recently made a swap, adding Kevin, formerly of Millennium, to their top lane in place of, I don't happen to remember his name right now. I'm just getting a mind blank. But nonetheless, they added Kevin to the top lane. And now there's reports that they may replace Nif, the support player, for Krepo. So one thing I want to talk about is, first of all, this deal is not 100%. It states in the article that they may be 100% completed with the deal, as in, like, they already have it thought up and maybe they have a draft of a contract or something to that effect. But that is from an unknown source, and there's no real solid evidence saying, for sure it's going to happen. There is a couple circumstantial evidence, as I like to say, using the legal term, but nonetheless, there's kind of the Reddit detectives, as you may know, as they like to call themselves, the Reddit detectives, have noticed that Reckless, the AD carry of Elements, has recently been doing duo queuing a lot with Krepo. Now, this is something that is not completely unfamiliar, but this is something that has not occurred since the offseason, when there was originally reports of Krepo being considered as the element support. So we haven't seen this in months, yet all of a sudden Krepo is duo queuing frequently with Reckless. So although I wouldn't say that's like, oh, Grand Slam, case closed, it's done, Krepo's probably flying out as we speak, I wouldn't go that far. I will say that this is a really good indication that these two players have a they have to work on some synergy for a reason. They're playing together out of the blue many hours for a good reason, and I think that reason is because Krepo is going to become the support player for Elements. So one thing I want to talk about too before I end this video is, how well does Krepo fit in with Elements? Is he really going to be an upgrade from Nif? Is he really going to be the determining factor of getting Elements back to their preseason expectations, or their preseason form, I guess you could say? I personally believe he's a step in the right direction. I wouldn't say that it's guaranteed that, Elements is just gonna, snap their fingers and all of a sudden it's gonna be like a machine out there every week. I wouldn't go that far. I do think that they have enough time in the season to recover and still make a strong push, not only for the playoffs, but in the playoffs as well. Krepo brings a lot of experience to the table. This is a guy that's been around the League of Legends scenes for quite a while, not just as a player, as an analyst, I don't think he's done any coaching, but he definitely seems to have the ability to coach if he wishes to do so. He's been around a lot of high-profile players in the League of Legends community, and, even just talking and discussing and theory crafting with these type of players, you automatically gain game knowledge. It's hard to say, but Yeah, so I feel that his experience could bring a lot to the table, especially on a team that has seemed to lack synergy. You know, he's a very likable person outside of the game, and I'm sure that transfers over into the game as well. You know, having that person that you can rely on to maybe defuse a situation, especially with someone like I hate to say this, but it seems to be true with Reckless, who has kind of a negative like cloud hanging over his head. It seems like every team that he's been on, there's kind of been team synergy issues at points. Granted, you know, he's performed very well the entire time, and usually the teams end up performing very well as a whole. So I do think it's something that Krepo it's one of the small things that Krepo will bring to the team if he is actually added after all, that will make a dramatic difference, or at least have the potential to make a dramatic difference. Now, mechanically, uh, I can't really say, you know, oh well, he's for sure better than Nif, or Nif is better than him. I think they're actually very similar from what I've seen. I would slightly say Krepo's a little bit better mechanically, but he does have these games where he seems to just be out of it. I don't know if that was just more so on Evil Geniuses, where perhaps, you know, the team synergy was an issue because the Evil Geniuses obviously didn't perform very well for the most part in the North American LCS. So I I personally feel is more of a team issue, leading to some mechanical errors rather than just, you know, Krepo fucking up. uh, can't really say it any better than that. So the last thing I want to cover, is he a better fit for the playstyle of Elements? I personally think so. Now Froggen, although he tends to be an aggressive player, he is more of a strategical aggressive player, similar to Bjergsen on TSM in Team Solo Mid. I feel Froggen kind of is a freak of nature in league respects. He kind of he visualizes the play and how it's going to turn out in his head, and then realizes if it's worth it, all in, you know, the tenths of a second that he has to decide. So I think his smart progressive or smart aggressive play style, along with Reckless's kind of more of a passive approach, you know, farm, 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 and then get that triple kill in a team fight and just buy items and stay ahead. He's more of a passive aggressive type of AD carry, which is why I think Froggen and Reckless actually have some pretty good synergy as a two-player combo. I think Krepo can fit that playstyle really well. Obviously, Krepo has played with Froggen in the past on the former Evil Geniuses, um, but I think that he can really bring a lot to this team. I think if Krepo is brought onto the team, you're going to start seeing better mechanical plays from the bot lane of Elements, and I think that that will transfer over into a lot more objective control. As we all know, bot lane is very important in that aspect, especially early dragons, and better team fighting overall as a whole. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I really do think that this is a good move for Elements overall, but I guess only time will tell. So yeah, that's about it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to check out the description for more links to YouTube, our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe, our Twitter, and then the website is getting even closer to launch. I'm extremely excited, and I cannot wait. So thanks you guys once again for watching. Remember to like the video. Comment down below, what do you guys think about this edition? Do you think it's going to make as much of an impact as I do? We shall see, I guess. So this has been Gilbert LaLaLakers with Dizzy Gaming. Remember, stay competitive.